Hi guys, SmttnPegasus here, and this is something a little different. So, as you guys know, I very occasionally do writing vlogs that I just call Let's Writes. I haven't done very many of them, mainly because I've been focusing more on my reaction videos because that seems to be more what people want to see, and, you know, I'm trying to kind of tailor my content a little bit, but I do like making I do like making the writing vlogs and kind of getting to talk about my fics and all of my different writing, because I love writing. It's one of the things I love doing most in the world. So I've been trying to do a little bit better on that. And one thing that I wanted to do, and something that's going to be a little different, is starting this year, I'm doing what I'm labeling Write-a-thons. And what, pray tell, may that be, you ask? And simply put, it's what it sounds like. It's a marathon of me writing. And so what kind of brought this about is I have my very best friend in the world, justalifelongphase on Tumblr and Archive and everything. Absolutely my best friend in the world, and they actually are the person who drew my my header. That's the hard-eyed Pegasus. Anyway, and I absolutely love them to death. And so, I start fics all the time, where I may not even start writing them, but I get ideas all the time. I'll watch a movie, fic idea. I'll watch a show, fic idea. I'll hear a song, fic idea. I'll be scrolling through Tumblr like it's my job and see a post, fic idea. I'm constantly pumping out ideas for fics. And I don't really have time to write very many of them. I have far too many. But every single time I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a new idea, and they indulge me. And so I had one where I saw this post on Tumblr, which was just, just a cute little feel-good post where it's like, oh, I play the piano in my apartment, and one day someone slid a piece of paper under the thing, and it was a request for me to play a song, and da-da-da-da-da, go on, so on and so forth. And I was like, dude, this would be an awesome fic. And of course, 90% of my fics are going to be Klexa, because they're Lexa is my spirit animal, so I love writing her so much. I'm getting a Lexa themed pride tattoo, guys. This is legit. But anyway, so I started kind of just working on this. I remember when I started it, I was sitting at my mechanic's because my car needed it was time for my car to get an oil change, and I was like, I'll just bring my laptop, and while they're doing that, I'll just start working on this. And I had just gotten the idea, so I was like, well, it's fresh in my brain, I want to go ahead and just, knock it out. Figured it's just be a couple thousand word one shot, it'll be real cute, just something to update my AO3, because I was in the middle of working on one of my really longer pieces for Familyverse. And what was supposed to be a couple thousand word one shot just kept growing and growing and growing, and before I knew it, I had almost 5,000 words, and I was like, okay, I need an opinion. So I sent one I had to my best friend, and they're like, dude, this is one of the best things you've ever written. Please tell me there's more. And I was like, well, there's not, but there will be. But then other things kept happening, and my life got turned upside down real freaking fast, and I moved and all kinds of stuff, and I just didn't have time to work on it. And so I decided at the end of this past year that I was going to finish that dadgum fic for my best friend. Because I was like, I want to finish it because I want them to be able to read it. And that's sometimes what motivates me, is I want to finish it so that my best friend can read it and tell me about it and geek out over it with me. And so, for some reason, I just had the idea that, you know what, I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to just write and write and write, and I'm going to film myself. And then I'm going to condense it into a montage and make it a video. And then it kind of formulated into an idea in my mind, and I was like, okay, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do one every month this year and just see how it kind of goes. And every month I'll have a fic that I'm going to focus on. And sometimes it'll be a one-shot that I just really want to work on. And sometimes it'll be a one-shot in my family verse. Sometimes it'll be like something completely unrelated. Or it's all gonna be all over the map. And basically, it's gonna be me sitting down and saying, okay, this, whatever it is, I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to write it until it's done. And if it's 20 hours of footage, then it's 20 hours of footage. And one thing I realized real quick is that it's not gonna be one sitting. So what you guys are about to watch is a very clipped down, very summarized 30 hours of me writing Tears on Ivory. Because I have a full-time job in retail, which can be very unpredictable. So I can't just sit down and write for 6 hours straight and just get it done. So sometimes I can write for an hour here, an hour there, 2 hours here. And so that's what I did for a couple of weeks. Whenever I had time, an hour here, 2 hours there, 3 hours here. I had a couple of days where I was able to write, 5-6 hours. But I also have ADHD, so sometimes I get really distracted and not get very much done. Sorry. But you guys will get to see all of that. So yeah, this is my first ever Write-a-thon for Tears on Ivory. I guess I'll see you guys at the end. Enjoy! Yeah, let's do this. Okay.
Back
Well, there you go, guys. That's my first write-a-thon. So let me know what you guys thought of this. And I mean, I'm gonna still do them because it is something where it's just a fun writing project that helps me get things done. And working through the literal list of probably at least 100 fic ideas that I want to get written. This will help me kind of work through them and kind of hopefully condense down my list so I can start focusing on some other stories and even some of my personal stories. Which if you guys ever want me to do anything like this or talk about anything like this on my personal stories and my original characters, let me know. I can literally talk for hours about my stories and my books and my characters. So if you guys ever are interested in something like that, let me know. But yeah, so one of these, they'll be released last day of every month. And like I said, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, by the time you guys are watching this, all of Tears on Ivory has already been posted on AO3. The links are in the description below so you guys can go read the fic that I was working on for this. I ended up posting it in 3 separate chapters just because this fic got way longer than I intended it to be. Like I said, initially it was supposed to be like maybe a 2,000, maybe 3,000 word like one shot, and I think it topped off at just under 13k. So yeah, a lot longer than initially anticipated. I'm not entirely certain on the word count. It's between 12 and 13k. It might be just over 13. I'm not entirely certain. I just know it's over 12, and if it's over 13, it's not much over 13. But yeah, huge. Or as I put in my last Let's Write, monster size. So I'm excited for it though. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys find something interesting about it. So I know I had fun making it, and I always have fun writing, so that's always fun. Anyway, I guess I will see you guys next time. Bye!